Hi friends, welcome to the Oracle Integration Cloud Training Program. So this video is part of lesson 2 and we are going to cover a module 1 of lesson 2. So the agenda of this module is here we are going to cover Oracle Integration Cloud Navigation walkthrough. We will see all the different navigations offered by Oracle Integration Cloud. Then we will cover a REST adapter, and then we will see how we can expose a REST API in Oracle integration with the help of app-driven orchestration pattern. So first we will cover integration cloud, then we will cover BPCS, then we will cover PCS part. So let's get started and see what are the navigations available under Oracle Integration Cloud. So first I will log in into the Oracle Integration Cloud. So in my previous video, I have showcased that we can create an instance from this particular screen. Once the instance will be provisioned, the state will be in creating state. Okay. Once it is in created state, you can log in into the Oracle Integration Cloud from here itself. You just click on these three dots and then click on a service console. Once you click on the service console, it will take you to the Oracle Integration Cloud homepage. As of now, it is showing disabled. It is because the instance is in the failed state. Okay. Now I have already logged in into my Oracle Integration Cloud instance page. When I log in into the Oracle integration, it will be landed onto the welcome page. So this is the first navigation. This is the first navigation of a Oracle Integration Cloud. So left hand side you will see there are different navigation like welcome, home, my task, processes, integration, B2B, visual builder, and then settings. So we will talk about all the navigations here today. Now, when you log in into the Oracle integration, you will be landed onto the welcome page. So this is the welcome page of Oracle integration, wherein Oracle has embedded some YouTube's link for the learning purpose. You can click on a particular link and the certain documentation of Oracle will be opened so that you can start your learning as well. On top, you can see the take the tool. Again, it will take to the official Oracle documentation, and again, watch videos will take you to the YouTube channel wherein you can see different videos. Here you see this is the initials of your login username. If you click on this, you can see the about, you can see the sign out. If you click on about, here you can see the version of Oracle Integration Cloud. You can see the service instance name, you can see the identity domain, you can see the service type, you can see the number of messaging pack, and just collapse this enabled feature, and here you can see all the feature flag which has been enabled in a Oracle Integration Cloud code. Okay, so this is the about section. It shows the version, service instance, the identity domain. I'll just close it. So this is the welcome page. Now go to the different navigation. The second navigation is the home navigation. So this page shows different on information, and it is categorized in a different frame. So all these frames are dependent on a different navigation like processes, integration, and visual builder. Some frame depends on the integration, some frame depends on the process cloud service, some frame depends on the visual builder. So the first frame, my task, is related to the PCS, wherein it shows all the tasks which are under your bucket, and it shows it is categorized in overdue, open, on track, and then zero or due. So the zero, it shows the count, how many tasks are overdue. It shows the count. Again, it shows the how many tasks are opened in your bucket, how many tasks are on track, how many tasks are due. So everything is zero as of now. It is because there is no task under my bucket. So it is related to the process cloud service. The second is again related to the integration cloud. Here, this section shows how many integration you have, how many active integration you have, how many scheduled integration you have. It shows the count. Once you click on this particular link, all are clickable. Once you click onto this number, it will take you to the corresponding page. Same way, the connection frame, again, it is related to the integration. It shows the total number of connections you have created. It shows how many connections you have used in the integration, how many used in active. So this visual application frame is related to the visual builder, wherein it shows how many visual application, visual builder application you have created, and it shows a different bifurcation mode, like how many are in developed, how many are in staged mode, how many are in published stage. Okay. Now this section shows all the recent activities which you have taken under processes, under integration, under visual application. So process shows all the recent activities, whatever pieces application you have created recently, it will show all these. Same way as the integration, it shows if you have created any integration recently, it will be visible over here. Same way as the visual application. If you have created any visual application recently, all will be visible over here. So this is related to the PCS integration and then visual application. Another is action. So again, this is related to the process cloud. If any action you need to take over any application, this application will be visible. You can take action from there itself. Go down. This is process. This is integration. If you wanted to create an application directly without navigating to the process navigation, you can click on a create application and the PCS application will be opened. Same way as the integration, if you wanted to create a connection directly from here or create integration, you just click on that link. It will take to the integration page, or this link will take you to the connection page of the integration. The monitoring task, it shows all the tasks under PCS. Process health, it is related to your process cloud application. It shows the suspended instances, the recoverable instances, and then alert tasks. So all these you can go to the further pages by clicking on this tracking or the dashboard. So this is the page related. This is the frame which is related to the integration. It shows how many integration, the success ratio of the successful messages. It shows how many integration instances which we have received, how many process, how many successful, how many failed. These are not clickable. Okay, so that's all about the home page, wherein it shows the summary of all your integration of all your visual application or the PCS application. Now click on the My Task. So My Task navigation is related to your process cloud application. Once you click on this, you will be landed onto the workspace of a process cloud application. So process cloud application have two things. One is composer and the second is workspace. Workspace is basically related to the admin activities, or it is related to the application wherein you can go to the workspace, you can launch your application, you can take different actions which are there in your bucket, and then you can track your application, you can do the admin related activities. So we will cover all these things in detail when we will come into the PCS part. Just go back. This is all about my task section. Now let me just cover first integration, then I will come to the process, and then visual builder, and then settings. So integration. So integration navigation is all about the integration cloud, which is a integration platform which help you to develop integration. Once you click on this, you will be landed. Okay, so I am landed on the adapters page. It is because I have opened this page and it might be saved into the cookies. That's the reason this adapters page has been opened. But whenever you click on the integration, you will be landed onto this designer. So there are three different sub navigation: designer, monitoring, and setting. Under designer, there are sub tabs like integration, connections, lookups, packages, agents, adapters, and then libraries. So let me just discuss one by one. Integrations. When you click on the integrations, it will open the integration page wherein it will show all the integration which you have created earlier. From the same page, you can create a new integration by just clicking on the create button, and you can import the existing integration. Using this search box, you can search any integration. There's a filter as well. You can use this filter in order to filter any of the integration. So there are different filters based on the status, type, and then style. You can sort your integration based on the last updated, or you can click on the name to update with the help of name. You can click on the refresh button in order to refresh this list. Okay, this is all about the integration. It shows all the integration. By default, it shows 8 integration, and you can click load more items. Again, it will load next 10 8 integrations. Okay. Now just go to the connections. So connections page shows all the connections which you have created earlier, and from same page you can create a new connection. Once you click on a create button, a dialog box will be opened wherein it will show all the adapters which are there in the Oracle Integration Cloud. So you can select any one of the adapter which you wanted to use, and then click and can create a connection. We will discuss it later as well. Click cancel, and then you can search a connection based on the name. You can filter your connection based on the status, based on the role. You can sort based on the last updated name and then type, and then you can refresh it as well. Now the lookups. So this lookups screen is used to maintain all the lookups. You can search the lookup, you can filter the lookup, you can sort the lookup based on last updated and then name. Okay, you can create a lookup by clicking on the create button. You can import the lookup, and then you can open the lookup in order to modify it. So using this lookups page, you can maintain all the lookups, you can create it, you can edit it, you can delete it. So this screen is related to the lookups. Now comes to the packages. So packages are basically like a bundle of different integration. So from this particular screen, you cannot create any package. Okay, the package will be created as part of the integration creation only, and the package is bundled of a different integration. So you can keep different integration in a single package. It is same way as we create package in Java or PL SQL or .NET. Same ways we can create package to keep different integration into a single package. Okay. Now the agents. Agents is a connectivity agent, as I have described earlier, that it is the connectivity agent is used to make a connection between on-premise application and then Oracle Integration Cloud. From the same page, you can create an agent group. You can download an installer. This page shows the earlier agent group which we have created and the execution agent group. Okay. So you can search the agent group using the search box. You can again sort using the last updated or the name. Okay. Comes to the adapters. So this adapters is just a information. It is an information page wherein it shows all the adapters which you have in a integration cloud. It shows little information about each and every adapters, like for Adobe eSign, what is the version of the adapter, what it does actually, like it integrates Adobe Document Cloud with your application and implement fully automated electronic signature workflows. So all these can be seen over here. So it shows 68, which means there are 68 adapters as of now. You can search it, you can filter it based on type. Okay. Now just go to the libraries. So in Integration Cloud, you can register a JavaScript as a library and you can use it in your integration. So there's a provision in an Integration Cloud to use JavaScript, but little bit, not much. Okay. So here you can see all the libraries which you have registered earlier. You can search it, you can filter it, you can sort it based on the last updated and the name. You can register a library with the help of register. So this is all about designer. You can do multiple things. So this is related to the designer only. Go here and then come to the monitoring. Now under monitoring, there are different screens: dashboard, integration, agents, tracking, runs, and then error. So this monitoring section will allow you to monitor your integration which you have created. So all the running integration can be tracked from the monitoring dashboard. Okay, just click on the dashboard. Once you click on the dashboard, will be landed onto the integration dashboard wherein it will show multiple information. Okay. Here you can see multiple information are there on this screen. One is drop down, integration health, system health, and then design time metric. So integration health, the information which you see is the integration health. If you click on the system health, it will take you to a different page wherein it will show you the health of different component of OIC. So we will talk it later. Now just go back, go to the integration, go to the design time matrix. Design time matrix shows all the integration, all the connection, all the lookups, the packages, and then agents, the adapters, the libraries, and it shows the design time audit. Whatever action you perform during design time, it will be logged under this. Okay, so you can see the purchase order service. I have updated the demo user logged integration, something like this. All the audit trail will be logged over here. Now again, go back to the integration health. Now integration health shows different information. Okay, like success rate, the total instances, success, and then failure. All these are count. So this is the ratio of successful instance. For example, if you have total 100 instances of all over the integration, and out of which 30 got failed. So here you will see the 70%, which means the 70% success of the overall integrations instances. Okay, same way the status will get changed. It may be served, it may be failed. Different status will be there, totally depending on the ratio. Everything is clickable. Once you click on this, it will take you to the corresponding page. Now the total instances shows how many integration instances you have received. Okay, again it is clickable. It shows how many integration got success. It shows how many integration got failed. If you see, it shows how many connections are active. If you click on this, it will take you to the corresponding page. Same way, it shows how many integrations are there and how many are active. It shows the percent ratio. Same way, it shows the schedule integration. Here you see the activity stream and the design time audit. If you click on this, it will open the activity stream of the integrations. Okay, here you can see all the activity stream of the integration. Okay, you can download it here as well. Now you can see the design time audit. Design time audit again will open the same screen which we have seen under the design time metric. You can download it, the activity stream. You can download the design time audit. Once you click on this particular icon, the zip file will be downloaded. Okay, now here you see the bottom of this particular page shows the two graph. Okay, it shows the last 24 hours graph and shows the last 30 days graph. It shows the total number of messages received in the last 24 hours as part of this particular graph. It shows the last 30 days data. Okay, it shows how many instances has been received in the last 30 days. If you hover it, it will show the value, it will show the series. Okay, here you see it says the 19th April how many integration instances you have received. Okay, same way 24 hours and then 30 days. Okay, you can refresh it to refresh this particular dashboard. Click on the integration. Okay, the integration page shows all the integration which you have, which has been kicked off. Okay, it by default it shows the summary of last 1 hour, but here is the drop down which shows the last 6 hours, last 1 day, last 2 days, last 3 days, and the in retention period, and then custom date and time filter as well. Okay, so it shows this integration, and on this integration how many messages has been received, how many processed, how many success, and how many errors. Same ways, it shows all the integration which are in active mode, and then it grouped into the received, processed, and then success. You can filter it based on the time. You can take 6 hours, you can click on the last 3 days and it will show instances in the last 3 days. Same way in the in retention period. So it shows how many integration you have received in the retention period. So you see in the retention period, I have 8 received, 6 processed, and then 4 success and 2 error. Okay. And create purchase order, again same, you see I have received single hit on this particular integration. One got processed, one got success. Okay, and here you have a search box wherein you can search your integration like purchase, and it will show, and you can just search it for a single integration. Okay, you can just close this sign, and again for each and every integration, it shows two icons. One is view error and the second is view messages. If any integration is added out in this particular group, so this will be opened over here. So this will be actually uh, enabled over here. Otherwise, it will be disabled. Okay. If you click on this, it will take you to the another page. Let me just go to the integration page. Okay. Same way, it shows the view messages. You can click on this and you can see the message. Okay. You can filter it based on the pattern. Just click on the pattern and you can select push integration or the schedule. If you click on the schedule integration, it will show all the schedule integration which we have created. You can sort by last updated date and the name. Okay. So there's another uh, another drop down which is called which is having the value integration and an activity stream. If you open this activity stream, it will show all the activity stream of the integrations. Okay. Now again go to the integration. So this is all covered. Now come to the agents. If you wanted to monitor your agent, now how your agent is behaving, you can check the health of your agent from this particular agents. So here you can see the agent group which we have created under agents in dashboard in a designer, and it shows the health of this particular agent. If it is red over here, which means agent is down. If it shows the green symbol, which means agent is up and it is ready to serve our request. So you can check the health of agent from this particular screen. You can search your agent group and then you can sort your agent group as well. Now just go to the tracking section. The tracking section will allow you to track individual integration instances. Again, it has the same drop down which is having the last 1 hour, last 6 hours, last 1 day, last 2 days, last 3 days in retention period, and the custom date and time filter. You just need to enter the select a date from and to, and then corresponding integration between from and to will be visible over here. Okay. Now here you see all the integration instances which you have received, and it shows the failed. If any integration got failed, and it will be marked as a red. If the integration has been completed, it will show in the completed state. It will show the instance ID. Every integration instance has a unique instance ID, which you can see over here. It will show at what time the integration instance received, what time it got failed, and how much time it took to complete it. Okay, if you click on this, it will show you, would you like to discard this message or Oracle asserter. So discard will be visible only if the integration in the failed instance. Okay, if you will discard it, you cannot take any further action on that integration. Okay, so you can track individual instances. You can search your instance from here. So basically you can track based on the primary and the secondary identifier which you have enabled in your integration, which I will describe later in this particular module. So you can search it based on this number like 163,909. So here you see all the primary and secondary identifier which contains this will be visible over here. Okay. Same ways you can filter it over based on the message, based on the integration, run ID, instance ID, asserter instance, and then message history. Okay. Now click on the runs. So runs page is basically belongs to the scheduled integration. If any one of the scheduled integrations are there and it got hits, so you can track all the scheduled integration from the runs. Again, same ways you can see the drop down over here which shows last 1 hour, last 6 hours, last 1 day, last 2 days, last 3 days, and then you can search and you can filter it as well. As of now, we have not received any instance of the scheduled integration in the retention period. That's the reason this is showing blank. Okay. Come to the errors. Error section shows all the integration which are in the error state. Okay. And from here you can track your integration by error by integration. You can filter it out. You can search error by connections. There is no integration and error recovery job. Okay. Now I'll go back to the track errors. And here you can see multiple options like discard, like resubmit. And every integration has a checkbox. Okay. If the integration can be resubmitted, then this will be enabled. Otherwise, it will be disabled. So only the asynchronous flows can be resubmitted. All the synchronous flows which are there cannot be resubmitted. If you wanted to discard it, you can discard it as well. Okay, since the integration purchase order service is not a asynchronous integration, hence it is showing this checkbox is disabled and it is not permitting you to resubmit your integration. Certain integration can be resubmitted, but that should be the asynchronous integration. That's all about monitoring. Now go back to the settings. Settings again have different sections, like different navigation, like certificates, notification, database, recommendation, API platform, and then tracing. Come to the certificates. If you wanted to upload any certificate of any third-party application in order to enable a SSL communication, okay, so you can take a help of this particular screen. Okay, so here you can see all the certificates which are already there will be visible over here, the default certificate. If you wanted to upload any certificate, just click on the upload button, and then you can upload different type of integration certificate, like the SSL transport, the SAML, and then PGP. Then you have to select the category, whether it's a trust certificate, whether it's the identity certificate. Then you have to choose the file and then click on the upload button. Now just go back, and again you have to come to the integrations. Okay, now just click on the notifications. So this notifications section will allow you to manage all the system level notification. So this is actually useful for the admin guys. If our admin guy need a different kind of notification, then you can configure all these notifications from here. Okay, so here you see different options like service failure alert, hourly report, daily report, error report, or the distribution list. Okay, if a guy need a report in every 5 minutes of all your integration instances, how many integration instances you have received, how many got failed, how many got success. So if you need this detailed report, you can just check this checkbox and then you can click on the save button. So in every 5 minutes, our admin guy, right, will get a notification. So you have to give the distribution list over here so that user can get the notification. Okay. Then again, if you need a early report, then you have to select this checkbox. If you need a detailed report on a daily basis, then you have to select this checkbox. If you need the reports, if any integration got failed, then only you have to select this checkbox, and then all the reports will come if integration got failed. So in this distribution list, you have to maintain the recipient's email IDs on which you need the notifications. So you can maintain the distribution list over here. If you need to register different email IDs, so you can put each and every email ID separated by comma. Okay, and you have to save your settings. Now here you see the sender email address. So by default, all the notification goes with from no-reply@oracle.com. But if you need to register a custom sender email address ID, you have to click on the plus button, and then a row will be opened wherein you need to enter the sender email address. Once you click on a save button, an email will be triggered to this particular email address to approve it. Once it will be approved, all the notification will be sent out from this particular sender email address. But all the system failure alerts can go from a single email address. So you have to use this checkbox if you wanted to send a system failure alerts from this particular email address as unchecked. Okay. Now in this action menu, this is send now. If you need a immediate report of any one of the service failure alert or you need a early report, you just click on a send now button and all the reports will be triggered on your registered email address. If you need to reset all this, you just click on a reset all notification and all the settings will be reset. Okay, so that's all about the notification. Come to the database section. So here you see a database screen. Okay, so every OIC instance is backed up by the database. Every runtime artifacts are stored in the database. Okay, so whenever any integration will start kicking off, and there are a lot of integration which can be kicked off. Okay, all the instances will start pushing into the database, and then the space will be consumed accordingly. Now you need to manage your database space. Okay, so from this screen you can manage your database space. Here you see the 0% use. It shows the total number, total space has been used on your integration. So it shows the percentage. And here there are three tabs: the database space, nightly purge, and then purge. So this database space shows three thresholds: the quizzed, unquizzed, and then bonding. Okay, so make a note of this, guys. Actually, this question comes in the certification as well, that what type of threshold you can see on the database configuration page. So there are three type of threshold we can see or maintain, like quiz, unquizzed, or the warning threshold. Okay, by default threshold of quiz is 70. If the threshold or the space reaches to 70%, all the runtime operation will be shut down and several design time operation will be restricted when this space usage threshold is reached. Okay, if this threshold is reaches to 65%, it is the unquizzed. Okay, all the runtime and design time operation will be resumed automatically when this space usage threshold is reached. Okay, now the warning threshold. If it reaches a 60%, it is a warning threshold, and you will be notified that there's a issue, there's a space is filling up, you need to take certain action. Okay, so you will be notified on the registered email address. Okay, now nightly purge. Under that nightly purge, it shows different information like the time unit, successful instance, and the fault instance. Okay, so time unit having two values, days and hour. By default, it is set to 3 days and then 3 days. All the instances which are older than 3 days will be purged automatically as per this setting. If you wanted to change it, you can change it. If you wanted to retain your successful instance for more days, you can increase or you can decrease as well, depending on your choice. Same ways you can keep for the fault instance, but it is not recommended to change it. But yes, for the fault instance, you can keep the more days for the recovery purpose. But successful instance should not be for more than 3 days. Same ways you can have the hours. By default is 3 hours, but you can change it, and then days as well. Okay. Once you change it, you have to click on the save button so that the changes can be affected. Click on the auto purge. Auto purge again same shows like the time unit, successful instances, and the fault instance. By default is 3 days and 3 days. Okay, and here you see the auto purge enabled. Okay, sometimes what happens if the limit is reaches. Okay, so let me just go back. Okay, so auto purge, if auto purge is enabled, okay, the purging will happen automatically when the threshold will reaches to the warning. This threshold reaches to 60%. The auto purge will happen automatically. Okay, and it will take the setting. All the instances which are older than 3 days or the failed instance which are older than 3 days will be auto purged. Okay, now you have an option to purge now. Okay, if your threshold has been reached, okay, to a certain limit, and if you wanted to purge your integration, you can click on the purge now, and all the integration which are older than 3 days or the fault instance are 3 days will be purged instantly. Okay, cancel it. But whatever changes you do, you have to click on the save button so that changes can take place. That's all about this particular notification screen. I will just revert it, and now just click on the recommendation. Recommendation is basically by default, recommendation is enabled. Oracle integration leverages collectively intelligence to recommend which field should be mapped while developing an integration. So if you wanted to use that recommendation engine of the Oracle integration, you have to just select this, else you can keep it on. The API platform, this is related to the API PCS platform. If you wanted to configure your API PCS with the integration cloud, you have to give the URL of API PCS, username, and then password. And then you can manage your REST APIs or the SOAP API from integration cloud page itself. Now the tracing. So by default, this integration level is selected, but you can have global tracing on and global tracing off. So this will be explained in an integration when we will select an integration, when we will deploy an integration, this settings will be there, then I will show you there. Okay, but you can control your tracing from here, like tracing level. So if this option is selected, then all the integration tracing can be on or off. Global tracing on. If it is selected, then it will not ask you to enable the integration tracing integration wise. So by default, all the integration tracing will be on. Okay, if you select this, by default, all the integration tracing will be off, and you will not have option to enable the tracing. So make sure you have this integration level tracing control on. Okay, so that's all about the integration section. Now just go back. Now just come to the process cloud. Okay, so in order to open the process cloud application, you have to click on the processes. Click on the processes, and here you see the process application, decision models, spaces, and then administration. If you click on the process application, you will be landed onto the process list page, wherein it will show all the application which you have created earlier. From this page, you can manage all your application. You can create a new application. You can activate the application which you have created earlier. Decision models. So this page shows all the decision models which you have created earlier, and from here you can manage your decision model and you can create a new model. So when we will when we'll come to the process cloud service lesson, then we'll discuss this decision model in details. Okay, then come to the spaces. From this spaces screen, you can manage all the spaces which you have created. It is same as we have seen packages under integration. So you can bundle your different processes under a single space, and you can manage as part of the space only. Then administration again, it is related to the admin guy, wherein he can manage multiple things of your integration, of your processes application. Once you click on this, you will be landed onto the administration page of the process cloud. So here you can see the spaces, you can see the application, all the application which you have created under process application. It will be visible over here, and you can maintain it. Same way, you can come to the gallery, you can come to the player, and you can come to the import. So all this will be described later part of this particular training. Now just go back. So this is all about the processes. So that these are the high level menus, but all the low level menus will be seen later part of this particular training. Now come to the Visual Builder. Okay, so Visual Builder is related to your Visual Builder application. Just click on this. It will take you to the Visual Builder cloud service application, which will help you to create web or mobile app. Okay, so once you will be landed here, you will see top level navigation like all applications, settings, and then certificate. On the all applications, it will show all the application which you have created earlier, and here you will see a create new button as well. In order to create a new application, you can import the existing application as well. So you can filter using a name. You can filter based on the different status like development, stage, live, log, and obsolete. You can click on this to filter others as well. Okay. Now every application have an action menu. This action menu have different options which we can describe later. And then settings, under the settings there are different setting sections. There are different settings which you can take care. I will take we will talk about later. And then certificates, again you can manage all the certificates from here. If you wanted to upload any certificate for your VBCS application, you can upload using this upload button. So this is all about the visual builder navigations. Now just go back and then B2B. So this B2B is for your business to business. Actually, this feature has been launched recently, and we will not cover it as part of this learning module. Now just go to settings, and here we have seen this. There is a single navigation called certificate, and it is related to your integration certificates, and you can manage all the certificates related to that integration. So this is all about the navigations in a Oracle Integration Cloud. So all these Integration Cloud navigations are related to your Process Cloud application, the Visual Builder application, and then integration. Okay. Now I will jump into the integration now, wherein we will show the REST adapter and we'll see how we can create a simple REST application, simple REST API. Okay. Now we will move to the integration. Just click on the integrations. Now I have to move to the designer, and first click on the connections. Now I'm going to create a REST connection. So if you wanted to create any REST API, or if you wanted to consume any REST API, the external REST API, you have to use the REST adapter. Okay. Now just click on a create button. Once you click on a create button, you will be the up dialog box will be opened, from where you can see all the available adapters. Okay. Now if you wanted to search, if you wanted to use a REST adapter, you have to search a REST over here. Click on this and then select this adapter. Once you will select it, a dialog box will be opened wherein you need to enter a name, you need to enter the identifier, you need to select the role. So role name can be anything like REST connection learning. Okay. And here you see the identifier will be picked up automatically based on the name which you enter, but it will be in caps. You can change it depending on your requirement, but I will not change it. And here you see the role. There are three different roles. One is trigger, invoke, and then trigger and invoke. So this is very important, right? So role is basically, trigger means inbound, invoke means outbound, trigger and invoke means inbound and outbound. If you wanted to create any REST API, which means there will be something will come in a integration cloud. Okay, then you have to create a connection as a trigger. If something going out from the integration cloud, then you have to create a connection as an invoke that will be treated as an outbound. If you want to treat your connection as inbound and then outbound, you have to select this trigger and invoke. Okay, invoke, trigger means inbound to OIC, invoke means outbound to OIC, trigger and invoke means inbound to OIC and outbound to OIC. If you are going to create a REST API, okay, in a OIC, then you have to select a trigger. If you wanted to call any external REST API which will be outbound, okay, which will be an invoke, then you have to select a role as an invoke. So that's all about the role. So since I wanted to create a REST API, I will select trigger only and then click on a create button. Optionally, you can enter the description. Click on a create button. So once you click on a create button, here you see a page will be opened. Okay, here you will see three buttons like test, close, and then save. Just save it. Once you will save it, it will give us successful message like this has been created successfully. Now here you see the bar as well. Okay, so if it is showing 100%, which means connection is ready to use. Now just click on simply test it. Now your connection has been tested. Now in this particular connection, it has not asked any detail. It is because we have selected the role as a trigger. Okay, when I will select invoke, I will show you this later as well. So when I will select invoke, it will ask different details. Okay, for the time being, let's just close this connection, and now let's go ahead and try to create an integration. Okay, click on the integrations and now click on the create button. When you click on the create button, a pop-up will come up wherein it will ask you to select the integration design pattern. Click on the select button, and here it will open a dialog box wherein you need to provide a certain detail. Okay, now in this dialog box you need to enter the integration name. I will say REST API learning. Okay, so identifier will be picked up automatically based on the integration name which you have entered. You can see the version, like the default version is 1.00.000. So the version will be in the same format like XX, YY, and then ZZZZ. And then documentation URL, you can provide any documentation URL. So it has been added recently, this document URL section. Earlier it was not there. You can give a description optionally of this integration. You can give the package name. If you wanted to give a package name in a of an integration, you can give a package name, or if the package does not exist, it will be created. For example, I'll say com.test. Okay, if com.test is already exist, it will be shown over here. Else a package will be created with the name com.test, and the integration will be part of this com.test only. Okay, you can provide a keyword which will define your integration. So I will leave this blank, then click on a create button. Once you click on a create button, okay, you will be landed onto the integration canvas page, wherein you will see different options like this canvas view or the pseudo view. Okay, now I'll go back, and here you can click on a select if you wanted to select a certain component. As of now there is no activities there, so select will not work. If you wanted to reposition any activity, you can use this reposition. If you wanted to change the layout, you can change it like horizontal or vertical. Now you need to reset it. Okay, now here there are three menus like trigger, like errors, and then global variables. Okay, so now when you create an integration with the help of app driven orchestration, you have to define a trigger point. So my trigger point will be my REST connection which I have created. It is because I wanted to expose an REST API, so I have to use the REST connection which I have created. So just click on a trigger, or all the triggers connection will be there. Now just all these will be grouped based on the adapters. So just expand this REST, and here we have created this REST connection learning. You just need to take it and then drop it over here. Another option is just click on this plus button and then search your trigger connection. Just select it from here. Once you click on it, so a pop-up dialog box will be opened which is related to your REST connection. So here you need to enter the endpoint name. I'll say REST API, and here you can give a description of this REST endpoint. You don't require it, it is pure optional. And here if you wanted to select if you wanted to create multiple verbs like HTTP post as part of this REST API, you need to select this checkbox. So for the time being I'm not using it. Click on the next button. Once you click on the next button, here you see the operation name will be there by default. So you can give a operation description optionally, and here you have to give the endpoint relative resource URI. I can say training. Okay, whatever you want. So I can give another name as well, like greeting. Okay, and then the next option is just get, put, post, delete, and then patch. Which verb you wanted to use for this particular REST API. Okay, so I wanted to use get, so select this get. And another option is just like add and review parameter for this endpoint, configure a request payload for this endpoint, or configure this endpoint to receive the response. So if you wanted to create any request parameter, okay, you just select this particular checkbox. If you wanted to give a request payload, okay, you have to select this checkbox. But this will be disabled. It is because we have chosen a get operation. If you will choose the post operation, this will be enabled. So I will just select get. And now if you wanted to configure the response as part of this REST API, you just select this checkbox. Okay. Now here the different checkboxes are also there, like the configure request header and the configure response header. If you wanted to configure any type of header, you have to select the corresponding checkbox. Like if you wanted to use the standard headers, you have to select standards or custom. Same way for the response. If you wanted to enable course, which is cross origin resource sharing, you have to select this checkbox. Okay. So further screen will totally depend on the options which you have selected here. Okay. Since I have selected only add and review parameter for this endpoint and configure this endpoint to receive the response. So this request parameter and the response wizard will be, or the screen will be visible only. Okay. Now click on the next button and here you see the request parameter is enabled. Just I wanted to add a parameter over here. Just click on a plus button and here I'll say name. And you can select the data type of this like string, boolean, double, depending on your choice. I will select string. Now click on the next button and here there are different options on the response. If you wanted to send the attachment as part of this response, you have to select this. Okay. If you wanted to send a response payload, right, then you can choose the XML schema or the JSON or the binary. Totally depends what type of response you wanted to send as part of the REST endpoint response. So I wanted to send a sample. I wanted to send a JSON, so I will select JSON. And then you have to give a sample JSON in which format you wanted to send the response. Click on the inline. I will select. I will give like hello. I can say greeting. I'll say greet user. Okay. So I wanted to send the response in a JSON, and I have given the sample JSON over here. And then click on a OK button. So okay. Okay. Now click on the next button and then finish. Now your REST adapter has been configured successfully. Now, as I mentioned that every adapter will have a associated mapper. So this mapper will allow you to map the data. Now just keep saving your integration. Now in order to modify, in order to edit this, just click on this mapper and then edit. Okay. Now here the mapper will be opened wherein I will map our data. So here you see in this mapper you have different options which we will discuss later, and then just expand this response mapper, and here you see the query parameter. So this query parameter which will come from the user, and then we will send the greet user. So name we have added as a query parameter which will be treated as a source, and the target response will be treated as a response. Okay. Now I wanted to concat hi with name Ankur. Now just expand this, and here there are different functions which you can use. So under this string function, there's a function called concat. Just drop it over here, and here you see the expression builder will be open. So here I will hardcode hi, and then after this comma, I will just drop this name. Okay. Now just validate your mapper. If it is valid, it will be validated, and then close your mapper. Now your integration is ready. Now just keep saving your integration. Here you see one in a red, which means there is certain error in the integration. If there is an error, it will be visible over here and it will show count how many errors are there. So you can see the errors here as well. Okay. Now there is no error in the integration as such. Okay. But the mandatory thing is that whenever you create an integration, you cannot deploy it till the time a tracking parameter is enabled. So you have to enable a tracking. So just click on this, and then here you can set at most 3 tracking parameters. So these tracking will be part of your tracking parameters, which we have seen under the monitoring and then tracking scheme. Okay. Now just click on a name, And now we have added name as a primary tracking parameter. Same ways you can have secondary, you can have third parameter as well. Now just save it. Now you see the error has been removed from here. Now just save your integration and then close. Now your integration is ready. Now we can test it. Just activate your integration. Once you activate it, now here you see different options like enable asserter recording, enable tracing, and then include payload. If you enable this tracing or the include payload, the tracing means only the activity tracing will be enabled. If you wanted to capture the payload as part of the log file, you can check this checkbox as well, and the payload will be captured under the activity stream. Okay, now just activate it, but this option is not recommended for the production use. Okay, now activate your integration. Once it is activated, it will show the endpoint of this particular integration, which you can test it from Postman or from SOAP UI or from browser as well. Now here you see the integration has been activated. Now just click on this. It will take you to the different page where it will show the definition of your REST API. Now this is the endpoint which you can take it and then you can test it from the Postman. So I will open a Postman and will use it. So what I have done is I have opened the Postman and then pasted my endpoint URL. Okay. Now I will change the value like Ankur. And then in order to hit that API, you have to enable the basic authentication. So I have clicked on this authorization and enter the OIC username and then password. That's it. And you need to click on the send button. Here you see, after clicking on the send button, a greet user response has been received as part of the response of this particular API. Now, same way you can put another thing like Amit and then click send button. So this is how you can develop a simple REST API in an integration cloud. Now let's just track this integration and then go to the monitoring and then integration. And here you will see that 2 instances should be there. Here you see 2 received, 2 processed, and 2 got success. So I move to the monitoring and then integration. So this is how you can monitor your integrations as well. If you click on a 2, it will open the instance, and here you can see the Amit and then Ankur, so which we have enabled as a primary. Now if you want to track it, you just click, just enter it, and the corresponding instance which contains Ankur as a primary or the secondary will be there. Now just click on this to see the graphical view of this integration, and here you see all the arrows which are green, which means the integration got executed successfully. If any one of the arrow is in the red, which means integration got failed. Okay, now just click on the action menu, and here just click on the view activity stream, which will show you the activity stream along with the payload. Click on this message. This message will be enabled only if you have enabled include payload while activating that integration. Otherwise, it will be disabled. And this activity stream only will be visible if you have enabled the include tracing option. Otherwise, it will not be shown over here. So here you see we have sent query parameters and Ankur. If you click on this message, and here you will see what response has been received at the high Ankur. So this is how you can create an API, the simple REST API with the help of REST adapter, and then you can track it from here as well. So guys, that's all about this particular module, and we will meet in the next module of the lesson. Thanks. Bye-bye.